welcome back to another episode of the Energizer podcast, a podcast that leaves you charged up. You already know who it is. It's Ty, and I'm with
T.
And today we actually got another special guest. You always bring in the guest, boy. So before we do, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Krystal. Donji. Krystal with a Krystal. I would actually not even got my gems in today. I lost them. But it's alright. Usually Krystal with a Krystal.
Krystal.
D.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that quickly though. Where did that name come from? Krystal with a Krystal.
That name came from after I cut off my hair.
This was like last year,
Yeah. No, it was 2020.
Rah.
Because I remember I did it just before our graduation from school.
Rah.
Should say college. School sounds a bit young. College. And then I was trying to like experiment with my hair because obviously I'd never had short hair in my life, and I was like, oh my god, I'm bald headed. And then I did this one shoot with an artist called Ep8, and he sent me a mood board, and then like I put crystals in my hair just to fit the mood board, and I was like, this hairstyle's looking kind of and then it evolved into this after I went blonde, and so usually I wear my hair like this every day and put little gems in because Krystal
with the crystals.
Yeah.
All right. So
come on.
For those who don't know, tell me a bit more about you. What do you do? Obviously I know you, but for those who don't know, and Tafe as well.
First time I'm meeting you as well.
Yeah. So it's hard to explain what I do.
Yeah, we got time though, don't worry.
Yeah, I do a lot. I would call myself a multi-talented creative.
Yeah.
Because I started off doing a lot of kind of behind the scenes work with like my VHS camera and things like that. I've always been filming since I was young, and then that transitioned into me being taken onto the video team at Global, working with brands like Capital Extra, LBC, Radio X, all them under. And then now specifically I do like social media managing, and then I still do a bit of photography and videography, sometimes directing and producing on the side. So you're
just an all-round creative, man.
Yeah, because the thing is
That's
as well,
sick,
it's like a lot of people forget that they all tie into each other.
Yeah.
Like
they're connected.
They literally are, because even if you are a videographer, you still technically are directing what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Creative direction, which you can then
Creative
do into,
direction.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all like.
Yeah, it's all like one big bubble of creativity, innit?
Yeah.
So what made you get started in content creation or like what was the origins of that? Can you remember?
I've just been doing it since like young. Like I have so many pictures of me as like a child, like with cameras in my hand.
Okay.
Like I always stole like my stepdad's camera, my mum's camera, and I'd just be taking pictures at school, always with my little brick phone. God, every single phone I've had has literally broken because I have too many images on there. Like that is like the storage I have now. I told my dad when I got my new phone, I either get the higher storage or I'm not getting it. Like there's no debate
you like
on
to
that.
capture the moment.
Yeah, it's memories.
Yeah.
It's memories, and I have like 10 photo albums that are full, and I still have boxes and if I took a picture of the box I have of all the like photo albums you get from like Snappy Snaps and things, I've got hundreds.
Nah, it's crazy as well, because even thinking back, like obviously I've known you for a while. We went on holiday together. To LA. I remember you having a camera in your hand then. I remember for my birthday, when I turned 18, you had your camera in your hand then as well.
Yeah, I got your whole
you're
birthday on film.
Yeah, literally, like it's very good to capture the moment. So let's even take it a step back now. Your first point that you mentioned as in regarding to being a creative is working for Global doing videography. So like in terms of the videography.
Not videography, I was on the... It's hard to... Because I was an apprentice, so I was going around all the teams.
Yeah.
So it was like videography, editing, producing. Like,
all right, cool. So let's just say, let's not even tie it in with the work stuff then. Let's just talk about your passion for being creating videos and stuff like that in regards to editing, How do you kind of like feel doing that? Obviously, I know that for you as an individual, something you're very passionate about, but in regard to like, you're getting paid to literally just like chop and change videos, edit it, put things in place of animations and stuff. I know that's like not, I know there's a lot more to it, but like as a base level, like what is it like? Like,
it's interesting because you get to work on so many different projects across so many different like genres. And so it's a very good, I think, skill to have, and it teaches you how to like storytell. And I think that's the main point. Anytime anyone does anything in regards to video, it's always like, what's the story? What's the start, beginning, and end point of things? And you have to, us as the editors, I feel like have a very important job to translate that, because you can video all you want, but we then have to turn it into the end product. You know what I'm saying? If we mess up the edit, long day.
And that's so true as well.
Long day for us.
Okay, so you see, when it comes to that, so you're doing the video side, you're actually recording it and editing yourself.
Yeah.
So you're doing both. Now that's sick still. So then you don't really need like anyone else to assist you, because you can do the whole thing yourself type of thing.
Yeah, it's always, I always thought that, especially because we had this thing called the control room. Some places might call it different, but that's where like all the buttons are, the big desk with all the buttons. And so I always personally thought that it's better for the person recording to then edit, because as well, the way you can cut on the board as it's going live, you then know what those cuts are already. So when you go into the edit, it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because different people film and edit in different ways. So if you know, I think it just makes that process a lot faster.
Yeah, literally. So like when you're on set or you're shooting, for example, you'd be like, cool, let me do it from this angle because it'll make it easier when I'm editing, for example.
Yeah. I've always thought that, like, that saying is like, if you want something done, do it yourself.
Yeah, that's how I live still.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, I feel so, sometimes like I hate giving people my camera because I'm like, oh my god,
you're
like,
not doing it right. You're not doing it how I do it.
It's not necessarily like they're not doing it right, but when you just have your way.
Yeah.
No, it is. I feel like even developing that point further, what you're trying to say is like, when someone else takes charge, they're not going to be able to share your same creative vision. Do you know what I mean? For what you have. So it's like, you can have the exact same tools, exact same editing metrics or whatever as me or you, for example, Tay, but the way in which you will see it, visualize it, and then do it and bring it into life is going to be different, because I can't really see what's going on in your head. Do you know what I mean? You can't see what's
sometimes
in my
I feel
head.
like that can hold you back as well.
Why?
Because I've got a clothing brand. This is me, trendsetter here, basically. And I've been doing everything myself, from designing, going post office, whatnot. And I feel like at the start I was happy because I was doing it myself, but it's like holding me back now because there's so many jobs and I can't do it myself no more. So I feel like you need to bring people onto the team to just push yourself up a bit more.
Oh no, 100%.
You can't do everything by yourself.
Well, I feel like that's a communication thing, and that finding that right team takes time, because
100.
Like over this in 2020, I literally have found friends in different creative circles who we do very similar stuff, and we're kind of on the same page. So we can go out, like for example, one of my friends, Raphael, we both do like film photography, and I know like if I give him a camera, like the photo is gonna come out
He'll
hard.
do the job.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So because we've been together at places, we've seen each other's work, and we're like, okay, it's cool and things. So in that respect, you can work together. But if it's just some like rando, like you're working with them for the first time, you never met them, it's like, okay, right, you need to have that chat about what do you do, what do I do, what you good at.
Yeah.
Let's see where
that's proper interesting. And even let's take it like into a different place now, like the world as it is, 2022, social media, all majority of the content we see is video content. You know what I mean? It's visual content. So like, how would you say that when you're on your phone scrolling on TikTok or you're on Instagram or whatever, and you're what's the word? You're taking in these different forms of videos. Yeah. Do you look at things differently now? Because it's like like you're looking at it like, oh, this guy didn't even he's not even in the center of the frame, for example. He's not this and that. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at it from like a producer's perspective rather than a what's the word?
A consumer.
Like
consumers. Yeah, that's exactly that.
No, 100%. I think anyone who has studied film or TV or anything within that realm is like that. Your brain instantly, I think, switches, and you can't
unswitch.
Yeah, you can't unswitch it. Because like a lot of the time I watch stuff like especially Euphoria, a lot of people be like, oh my god, the storyline, like I'm like, no, the shot, I'm like, oh god, the lighting, did you see the way the transition, like like that's how I'll be moving. And my friends like, Krystal, can you just watch the show? I'm like, yeah, but like you don't understand how hard it is to get a shot like that, and I'm like fangirling over things like that. And then like when I watch stuff, it's like I'm always just thinking, okay, how can I maybe like recreate that for myself, or how can I use that for a client? And so it's hard because you're always like in work mode, so to speak. You can't really you can enjoy stuff, but you always know like, oh yeah, okay.
But is it that you're in work mode, or is it just that that's who you are now as a person? Like you've taken on them certain traits, do you know what I mean? And it lives with you. It's not.
Plus, if you enjoy what you do, it's not really work. Do you know what I mean? If you enjoy what you do, it's not work.
Yeah.
So
I think it might be that. Like, it's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? I just look at things. It's just who I am. I just look at things through like a different lens nowadays, and so it's kind of, it's good for, I think, learning. And like, it's funny because my mum, or probably everyone's parents, like, oh, you're always on the phone, always on your Instagram. You're never gonna get anywhere just being on Instagram. I'm like, oh really? Because I get paid for it now.
Yeah. So what now? You know what I mean?
So what now? Yeah, exactly. What was that? Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nah, I hear it, but the way the world's going is different, because I'm sure like when you took into like being a freelancer and doing all these things online, do you know what I mean? Your mum might have been a bit skeptical. She's like, oh, how's that going to work? Because in her mind, she's not really been able to fathom the extent of, do you know what I mean?
Seen it happen in
do you know what I mean?
all the elders don't understand what the heck is going on, right? Like to them, this is a whole different world, and I think it's hilarious. Have you ever watched your parents try like use the phone properly, and it just looks like
see my nan, she's like,
bro, you did it with the one finger.
So they got the one finger.
Yeah, I'm like, give me your phone, let me text it for you.
They got their hand bare.
Yeah,
and then just started like,
make it make sense. Surely you should have it closer to your face. Or like my mum wears glasses. Yeah, she'll take her glasses off to look. Like, does that not defeat the whole purpose of the eyeglasses? Like what?
Oh,
I think that's what's funny. Yeah, I was just laughing. But it's like, especially with my parents in the nicest way are big nerds. Like my dad is like, well, he lives in America, so he's like the equivalent of a deputy head teacher of his school, so very academic. My mom worked in one of the top universities like in the country, so she's very academic. They all have their master's degree, so you know the top height finished with like first, and so they're big brain people. So when I came out now and I wasn't like that, they were like, ugh,
you're more creative.
What is happening here?
Because that wasn't their blueprint. Their blueprint was like through the school system.
Go to school, go to uni, get a
job. Good job, but that's not your route.
They expected you to grow up being an academic person rather than a creative. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know how many times my mom tried to ship me off to boarding school? Boy, to think if I went to boarding school, my life would be complete. I sometimes I deep that, like, if that one decision like went left instead of right,
you would have took like a pivot.
Yeah, it would just change the course of reality. One of them butterfly effect moments. So,
I hear it.
But like now, my parents kind of understand what I do because I'm actually like doing well at it. Because I always told them like, no, I'm not academic, but I like video and I'm going to make this work for me. And I said, if I don't get the apprenticeship at Global, then okay, like I'll get a proper job. Yeah. But I got the apprenticeship. Yeah. And then here I am today.
Come on.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what it's about, just showing them the results. That's when they will come over and they'll understand when you can show them some results.
Because don't chat, like do you know what I'm saying?
Actions speak louder.
Actions speak louder than words. And my dad always say that. Don't talk about it, just do it. And I'm like, okay, daddy. So now I'm doing it. And I'm doing it well.
I hear it. So talk to me a bit more about like your freelancing.
So I freelance everywhere and anywhere pretty much.
Go on.
Oh, sorry.
What does that consist of?
So that consists of like, doing like a lot of my behind the scenes video that I was doing last year, some kind of like event videography, photography, just going on like shoots with other photographers and taking pictures there, doing like, again, like some directing and producing stuff, and now like my social media managing, and I also did some like advertising for companies here, there and everywhere. So I've just been about the block, you know, for these last 5 years. I've been in so many different spaces, and I feel like, again, with everyone, people don't necessarily see the before journey. People think like, oh no, you're just doing all this stuff.
They see the top of the iceberg.
They see that's it.
They don't see the work that's
They don't see the bottom bit. Like, I've been doing this since I was 16, babes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, been in here for a hot sec. So for it to pay off now and then me actually do what I want instead of what other people want me to do. Yeah, good day.
Do you feel fulfilled?
Yeah.
Do
you know, like this, even just January.
Yeah.
Listen.
Good month, started the year.
Good.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yes, I was literally on the phone to one of my homegirls, Reese, last night, and I was like, I'm so happy with my life right now. It's just crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever been happier than how I am right now, and I'm so happy to feel that because 2021 go to hell. 2021 was not a good year for me at all. And I said to myself, I think like on New Year's, I said, yeah, we're not doing this again.
Yeah. Do you know what it is though? Like, sorry to interrupt you. Like, me and Tay spoke about this in a previous episode about like everyone has that one year that's like the worst year. Like for me, it was 2020. Like when we left college or whatever. Yeah, like a lot of stuff happened for me. 2021 was your year, but look at the bounce back. Do you know what I mean? You need to be almost broken down to point zero, so you can come up further. Than you was at level 5. You went from level 0. Now you're on level 10. That's how I see it. So 100%. Yeah, man, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, the come up is evident. So
come on.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah, I wanted to quickly break down what freelancing is, because I'm sure there's some people that don't know what that is. So try to break it down.
Freelancing is basically you work for yourself and you bounce around between different companies doing different jobs, so to speak. You're not contracted. I feel like that's the best way to put it. You don't work a necessary 9 to 5. But yeah, it's like hard to explain because different people have different contracts.
Yeah.
In a sense where it's like, okay, you might work here for 3 days and then work at another company for 3 days.
And then you're here for a week and then...
Yeah, but it's not like you're here for a year and this is everything that you have to do and you must come in and do this, And freelancers get paid a bit more. You're not on a set salary. Yeah, whatever money you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you set your own salary, your own wages as such, innit?
At some places, yes. At corporate companies, sometimes they have a freelancer salary. Okay. And boy, I've seen the spreadsheets for some of them, man. Yeah. Wow. Like some of the people doing the same job as me get. Anyways, and I was like, oh, this freelancer's looking kind of nice. Let me tap into that. So yeah, I'm here now, and it's like it's good because you're not tied to anything. Like if you want to go work for this person this day, you can go do that, and you don't have any commitments. And that's what I like about it, because even when I was at work and like people would be messaging me up for like, oh, Krystal, can you come do this shoot? And I'm like, I'm at work, and it's like I'm only doing one edit at work, but I have to stay here till 5, and it's like I could be doing this one thing, and I'm thinking, yeah, this long. Like, I loved my job, don't get it twisted, but knowing I could be doing so much more and I was capable, man.
So, by the sounds of it, you're literally like an all-round creative freelancer, yeah? Talk to me of like a day in a life.
Day in a life. Oof.
Yeah, do you have like a set structure, or is it like every day is a different day?
It depends, because now that I'm doing social media managing and I'm within a contract with my clients, I have specific requirements that I have to meet. So for a lot of them, it's like creating the content, coming up with strategies, and then like posting on their social channels like 3 to 4 times a week, doing like analytics, sending back those analytics and just kind of taking them through everything like that. And I'm just trying to figure out that structure for myself, because working with 3 different people in 3 completely, it's like you have to be in all these different headspaces, and it's like, flipping hell. So even it's like, you know that TikTok sounds like, I like it, I like it. Yeah, that's me. Like, I'm gonna
act like you know.
I mean, I do know, but it's like just putting it like into place. But then other days, for example, like yesterday, literally was in Brighton on a photo shoot. Some days, like I was on a video shoot with Ray at a concert. Sometimes I might be at a club with the music, you know, like. I can just get hit up. Yeah, that one day I went to a drag show to film for my YouTube channel, then got a call from my friend at like 10 o'clock at night. Was like, oh, Krystal, my friend really needs a videographer. Can you just come down to the club and film? I was like, okay, just give me like an hour. Was there, filmed, went home, you know?
Yeah, that's proper slow.
Damn.
That's proper.
So your life is a movie by the sounds of it, boy.
It's fun. It's exciting because you don't like necessarily know what's going to come up, and there's like so many different events going on, and like I have the free time to like go to all of them now and meet new people, and then by meeting those new people,
you're building your network.
You build your network and you get invited to more stuff and more stuff. So it's just like,
that's proper, man.
Love it.
So how do people find you? Like, obviously you're a freelancer, you do loads of different things. So how do people find you and say, all right, cool, I'm gonna book Krystal to do this for me?
Well, majority of my work has come through Insta or word of mouth, and then message me on Instagram. Because I try to put as much work on my Instagram as possible, or like just post TikToks of my day. But I also think it's like a vibe thing. So people will be like, oh, I like your vibe. What do you do? And I'll be like, oh, I do this. Oh, we should work together. And I'm like, okay, cool. Here are my socials, rare. And then, like, I think the great thing about Instagram is that it kind of pushes you to the right people. And that's why hashtags are so important, coming from a social media manager.
Yeah.
You know, I've not used hashtags in ages because I feel like they don't work.
Let's talk on that.
No, they what a hashtag does is essentially puts you in like a bracket system, in a sense where it's like, okay, you do podcasts and it's like, let's just say like Black Podcast talking about this. Yeah, so if you do that, if someone searches for that and they don't necessarily know who you are, they're going into hashtags to find that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're part of that hashtag group now.
Yeah, so it's like you might not think it's working, but just to even put yourself in
the bracket.
In the bracket, in the pond, you know, someone can send out a line, you know, might find you.
Yeah, I'm fine. All right.
Let me ask a question building on that, yeah. So like in terms of the hashtag stuff, like how would you recommend to do it for someone who's looking to grow their social media? Let's say specifically Instagram. Is it bang 50 hashtags in a comment? Is it just 3 or 4? Is it a max of 7? Because I know with like TikTok, for example, I've heard that when it comes to hashtags, you should do like between like 2 and 5 maybe. That's like a it's hashtag strategy is something even I'm trying to get the hang of, because the algorithm is always changing, especially TikTok. Oh my god, because TikTok, anything can blow. Like it's so like hard to specify. But what I would say for hashtags is literally just talk about your niche. So it's like if you were explaining what you do to someone specifically, those are your hashtags. So like anytime I try and hashtag my stuff, I'll be like, okay, London creative, Black girl creative, videographer in London, because again, that's what people are gonna like search for. So if they search that, I might come up on their radar. So yeah. All right. So like from what you're saying now, it's like, how do I even explain it? It's like you're searching into your niche basically. So if like I'm someone who's interested in young Black creators in London, I'm gonna search that as a hashtag, and then because you've hashtagged that now, here's Chrissy D, for example, here's Krystal, and I'm gonna go and, do you know what I mean?
Just putting yourself in front of the right audience, your audience.
Literally
that is literally all a hashtag is, just putting yourself in the audience. And that's why, like, for example, like trending hashtags, like I wouldn't say put a trending hashtag just for the sake of it. It does help, but again, like especially with TikTok, it will send your thing to the right places, because again, it analyzes people's For You pages, and things will be like, okay, this is a Black creative over here, this is another Black creative over here, okay, let's bring them together. Because I get like on my For You page, like I get so many adverts like, oh, looking for creatives for this thing, and then we link up. Like,
really, that's actually happened?
Yeah, like literally there's a girl called oh god, if I get her name right, Mia or Maya, but she has like a magazine, she advertised it, and like I went to her event, and now like I'm filming her event this year again. Like I filmed it last year, and then she came back to me.
Of social media, bro.
That's what
crazy,
I'm saying, and
man.
that was all through TikTok. So it works, and you never know what can come
That's
from
crazy. And even like bringing it back onto like the parent type of side now, yeah. If you was to say to your mum, oh mum, I've got to shoot for this client, how'd you meet her? Oh yeah, she's on my For You page. You must really be like, what? Like, what? You know what I mean? What is that? And it's the same if I was to say to my mum, for example, oh yeah, I put 2-3 hashtags in, and now I've got this big following, this big reach, and she's mom was like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? But even going in a different direction now, one thing I did want to mention is, because you said that you like to put up all your work online onto Instagram and have it as like a CV. So let's talk about that. Do you think that in 2022 your social media profiles is equivalent to like your online CV, and why? Especially for you as a freelancer, because I'm sure like when you get all your clients, you're not like, okay, let me send my CV to you. It might help, but you might not need it, or it might not, CVs might not hold as much weight as like your online profile now. Would you agree, disagree, and why?
It's a bit of both, because I wouldn't say post necessarily like everything. I say like post the stuff that you're proud of, because as well, like stuff that's on my portfolio, my like website portfolio, is not necessarily all on my like Instagram page as well, because my Instagram page, the audience that I have on I'm saying audience like I'm an influencer, well, like the friends that I have on there and the followers that I have on there are all like in my creative circles and like people in the creative industry. And so I post stuff like when I go to like networking events, or you know, like the parties that are like for people like you and I and things like that. Whereas on my portfolio, I have like the proper professional like LBC stuff or the heart stuff, but people on my Instagram don't want to see what I did for LBC.
Yeah,
like
because it doesn't fit with that type of niche or that audience.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And so I would say like know what your audience is looking for and then
Give it to them.
provide that, and don't be afraid to post up your stuff, because a lot of people will be like, oh my god, I only got 50 likes, I gotta delete it, I only got 2 who cares? The right people will see it. Like, stop caring about likes and comments and rare like, just post your stuff, and then when the time comes, like, it will come. Like the 2 clients that I got from posting one TikTok, that TikTok like only got like maybe like 200 views, but I posted it on my reels and they were like, oh yeah, I saw the TikTok that you made, yeah, can you come work for me?
Simple.
What if I had been like, what if I had deleted that because they didn't get like hella views? Come on now.
I feel like it's more the value than the numbers. Like, if your content's providing value, even if it don't hit numbers, then it's alright, because it might touch the right person.
There you go.
Do you get me?
And because numbers don't mean dilly squat. Look how many of these TikTokers just be doing millions.
Yeah. It's true still.
Nah, you got a point still.
Like, what did you do here? What did you do? Come on now. Like,
nah, you got a point, man. So like, even on to the point what you were saying, which is why I was like, oh, it's the universe, because like, we was literally having a conversation yesterday about content as king. So I would like to get your take on that. So like, you being a freelancer, obviously within your job role, you have to provide and upload certain amount of content. But like, even as a greater free content creator / creative in itself, as you as an individual, what's the importance to you of just creating content, just putting it out there through like TikTok, Instagram? Because like you said, it's just pushing it out there.
It's like, the more content you create, the more of an analytical database you get back, and it's
strong.
Like, because the thing is, it's like, and again, I'm learning this as like a social media manager. You have to, this can work for everyone as well. You have to post loads of stuff to know what people like and dislike, because then that's how you find the secret formula and the thing that works. Because you might think, me filming like day in the life videos is going to get you like million views, when in actual reality people might just want to hear you like chatting nonsense about something and just hear you like going off on a rant of things like that. Like, people relate to that more. So it's just like, you just got to post all the little different things to be like, okay, they like this, it's got this one, and then
them together.
Yeah. But in order to do that, you have to post. You got to drop that ego that people have and trying to be like, create this image of yourself, and just go for it. You got to trial and error. So, and I think just keep it up there anyways, because then you can see the growth. Because when I look at videos I did from back in the day versus videos that I can like do now based on the knowledge that I have, it's like, so,
you know, I've kind of deeped through like this whole conversation so far as well, like moving on to like your clients as well. Like you said, we're going to get onto this as well. You make TikTok posts for your clients, if I'm right. Would you say that learning how to use TikTok and really understanding the effects and how to edit and stuff on TikTok is actually like a transferable skill that you can then bring to your clients, in a sense where like they come to you because they know Krystal's going to create the TikToks? But like, would you say that holds the same amount of value as like me being proficient in Excel, for example, in like the media world? Does that make sense? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough one, because it's all like needs based in the sense where these clients need someone to make TikToks because they are not necessarily of the age of TikTok. They're a lot older, so they don't understand it as much as we do. So it's like they're trying to get in younger people such as us who like live and breathe it to make it. But then I would also say like, you can't be like professionalism and skills like that. That's always a great skill to have, because I use Excel sheets for some of my analytics, but I don't know how to amazingly use Excel, but I know how to use it. Formulas, I know like it enough, so it is transferable. And plus, once you learn how to edit, then you can learn how to edit longer forms of content, because some people, like sometimes I will edit outside of TikTok and then upload. I don't necessarily do everything inside TikTok because there's limitations. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it is transferable, and it's just the way you market yourself and advertise yourself to that client, to be like, okay, I've done like this TikTok and I've done this analytics. That means you can analyze other data here and there. You can analyze like audiences from their mainstream adverts I've gone out on Facebook, on billboards, on this and that. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, it can all intertwine. It's just how you market yourself to them.
No, that's
if
strong.
that makes sense.
I'm with you. So do you ever approach clients, or is it more time people approach you? Like, how does it work?
I want to really.
I know what you're saying.
I don't want to be like a snob, but
They come to you.
but I would say 99% of people.
No, but it makes sense because they can see the quality of your work, innit? Like your work's there, they can see it, so they're gonna come
it's so
to you.
true.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah.
And even building on that as well, like as you both know, before I got my current career that I'm doing now, I was doing my Thai career, so I was doing web design. At the end of the day, your work, one, is a portfolio in itself, and two, your work speaks for itself. So like word of mouth is very big. Yes, word of mouth is not the only way in which you can get clients in, but it definitely does hold a lot of value. If you recommend to me, bro, you just lost your barber, go to this barber, I can vouch. I'm gonna go there because
word of mouth, I feel like that's the best form of marketing.
It is the strongest.
Do you know why? Because let's say I tell you something, you trust me, you're gonna listen to that.
Whereas
if you listen to an advert, it's biased. You get me? It's coming from the company. So I feel like word of mouth's one of the most important ways of marketing still. Yeah.
But it's that authenticity, and that's what that's what I've kind of built my business upon. That's why, like, I always tell people my videos aren't professionally clean cut and shiny. I capture authentic moods, vibes, energies in the room, like,
and that's what's gonna make you win, because people can see that. They can see that it's authentic. Do you get me?
exactly, because you've got time for the fakeness. Get out here. Like, no, like, people don't believe that. That's why brands are trying to get on TikTok, because they are now having to wake up and see people don't want the shiny influencers anymore. Micro influencers are actually getting a lot more praise than the big influencers now, because they have more of an authentic audience.
Thank you. They got more of a niche audience who are like more like literally one of our networks called Koza. He has a blog, and in his blog it talks about having 100 true fans. So it's like in regards to that, having that small or being a micro audience, you have a smaller amount of fans, but they're more invested in you and what the services you provide. They're 100 true fans, 100 true customers. You get?
I'd rather have 100 true fans than a million fake fans. You get me? It's just a number then. But if you got 100 true fans, they're supporting you. You know what I mean?
Because you got to remember, a lot of these big, no shade to them at all, but a lot of these big influencers, especially like the American ones, are so out of touch with reality now. They're not with where their audience is. Do you know what I'm saying?
They're not relatable to the people.
Yeah, how you chatting to me about, I did this today and I'm struggling, but I've got 2 Ferraris, 6 mansions, and I like
it's not relatable.
What are you talking about? Are you like, make it make sense? What?
I got a question for you then. Like, seeing as your like your whole job role kind of revolves around social media, as most people does, but you more so in a sense where it's like TikToks and Reels and short form content, would you say that followers are customers, and why?
Well, it depends what your brand is, because if you're a product based brand, then but if you're a service based brand, then it's a bit different, because you're not necessarily buying anything. I think it's more, what I would say to people in any industry is that when you have followers, you need to create a sense of community.
Facts.
And that's how you get people to transition into other things. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then if they can see that you're providing a value to them, and that's what I say, value.
What were you speaking about yesterday?
This is, bro, why do I keep saying universe, bro? Like, Krystal, you both know me. I'm mad spiritual, so I'm just listening to go like, Ross Clark. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, I swear down, like, you're literally telling me now about value. We had a live yesterday and we was talking about value, and I was literally saying, in effect, most people chase money, which is where they go wrong. Because one, if you chase something, money will run away. And two, what you should do is you should chase value, because once you chase value, the money will chase the value.
Amen.
So as you chase the value, people will want to reward you based off of the value that you're providing them. So if you can say to someone, even if for free, you're just posting out really good, high quality content, you're giving people value. Now people are going to come back to you and be like, yeah, Chris, you're doing your thing. Now let me pay you and reward you for this value so you can give me more value.
Like you said yesterday, life's transactional, innit? It's a give and take. So you provide value, then you give me back money or whatever it could be. So it's all about value. You get me?
Value first. There
you go. You said it. I didn't even need to say it. You said it. That's exactly what it is. It's true. Because because you see it all the time. Like, I've gone onto some pages where, and this is exactly why people hire in social media managers, because I've seen brands with like thousands or like hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff, but then I look in their likes and their comments,
there's nothing there. Crickets.
Because you have no interaction, no engagement. Like numbers are numbers. You might have like, I see a lot of people like 30k followers, yeah, but for each post they're getting like 200 likes compared to someone like, I don't want to say me, but someone who's got the similar amount of following to me, who's like in that mid 1,000, maybe 1.3k, for example, but like your engagement is a lot higher, your reach is a lot higher, your likes and engagement, like I said, is a lot higher. I can get like 300-400 likes, for example, per post. So who are you really going for? 30k who has like a lower, I don't know, CTR or click-through rate or conversion rate, compared to someone who's, like you said, back onto your point about having a micro influencer who has a lot less, but the engagement is a lot higher. So who would you rather go for? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I'll give you a trick of the trade as well. That's why when influencers have special codes, those codes are purely for analytical basis, because then the contractor, so to speak, will then look in their database and be like, okay, how many people actually click that link?
What do you mean special codes though?
So
Nah, you go.
So you know, you have like influencers, they'll be like, okay guys, so if you use my code
like
Krystal 20,
okay,
a pretty
I'm
little thing, we get 20% off.
Yeah.
One of those things. So what that code is number one, well, the influencer will get money from it, but then also the person who gave them that code in the first place can then go look in analytics and see how many people actually clicked and used that link.
Yeah. So you can track it.
So you can track it to see if you actually want to use them again, if they're actually worth what you're paying them. Because these influencers make money. They get to see.
They make bread.
Wait, like, yo, don't worry, soon come.
Going back off what you said though, like our followers, your customers. I feel like you're right, but they're potential customers, and I feel like your job as an influencer or as a brand is to turn those customers,
To make them convert.
those followers into customers. You get me?
Yeah.
Convert them. That's what your job is. So,
But I don't know, I feel like let's separate it, because I wouldn't say that I'm not an influencer, but I see every single follower that follows either A, the Energizer, B, my own personal social media handles as a customer. Actually, no, you're right. Actually, I'm
It's a
agreeing.
potential customer.
Yeah,
innit?
you're right.
It's a potential.
Potential
So
customer.
your job is to convert them into a customer. Do you get me? As soon as they click that follow button, how do you maneuver and how do you make them into a
So
customer?
you're already half the way there. They're already involved. They're already like they have an interest into you. But how can you convert that into something that's going to help?
So that's something you said about building a community. When someone follows Trendsetter, what I do, I send them a quick text and I just say thank you for following. Innit? Do you get me? Thank you.
I used to do that with Thai creators.
Do you get me? But the reason I do
cute.
the reason I do that though is because like it makes them feel like they're a part of the family.
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to build that community.
That's so
Do you
true.
get me?
Literally, just like me on my web design, when I was doing it, every single person who follow me, I send them a message and be like, hey, thanks for following Thai Creates. Please check out my latest work with a
And
link.
what you'll see, they're more invested now. Do you get me? They're more invested in what you post and what you do.
Exactly. So
me?
you're closing the gap between like
Because you're creating a relationship with that person, or making it seem like it's that whole relationship thing. Because I think like a brand that does it really well is Cortez.
Yeah.
Some people say Cortez. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Cortez.
Yeah.
But like if you see his customers or his fans,
it's a community. It's a die-hard fan base.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, literally.
And it's because like I think he's just been a genius at like that marketing, turning like the followers into the customers. Like the fact that you can have man them running in the street for a t-shirt, because that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like a little t-shirt with a logo on it. No, obviously like that's sick. Like it's insane because he's created like this hype around it and like this sense of community, because when you see other people wearing the brand, you're like, oh yo,
that's so true as well. That's strong.
You know, when you see people wearing the same brand as you, like so I think things like that, community over anything, community and value over everything, 100%.
Literally
Loyal.
I got a question now, but this is going back to your point previously about what was it, about getting your clients mainly through word of mouth. As a freelancer, because I know when I was freelancing with Thai Creates, obviously I wasn't really at the same scale as you are now. I was just kind of starting out, but I felt like it was a bit more pressure in a sense where when the majority of your clients are coming in through word of mouth, you're not in control. Do you know what I mean? So like you're getting word of mouth, but then what if one, that word of mouth dies out, for example, or two, you don't really have any control of like you actively going out to get your clients. Does that make sense? So do you feel, what I'm really asking is, do you feel under a bit of pressure because your main source of clientele is coming through word of mouth?
I don't think so.
No.
I think if you know you can do it, then you can do it. I think you only feel pressure if you don't know what you're doing.
If you believe in your work, then there's no pressure there. Do you get me? Because you know that you can provide the value type of thing.
Yeah, and be honest as well. I always am honest with my clients. If I can't do something, then I'll tell them I can't do it, or like I might not. Like I will try my best, and we'll see what it comes. Like for example, like the music video that I did with the band when they messaged me, because I always tell people all the time I don't do the clean cut music videos because that's not my forte. Like I'm very much like home video, authentic, like you're in a 2000 party, that's my vibe. And they was like, no, that's what we want. So I was like, okay, like I felt pressure from that, and I was just like, okay, like let's just do it. But like it turned out great because, you know, I just trusted myself, they trusted me, and I wasn't like panicking on the day or anything. I just went in there, was like, okay, no, let's do this, did it, edited it, boom, bow. Do you know what I'm saying? So always know what your skill set is, and don't try and take on, like, what's the saying, like, don't
bite more than you can chew.
That's it, don't bite more than you can chew, because then that's when you're like you know, like, you know, the Nicki Minaj was like yeah, right, like he used to be like that. No.
So even moving on back to like your point about social media and stuff, do you ever feel like clients will come to you and they'll be wanting services out of you that goes against your authentic self, like how you've just said? So do you feel like you're ever under pressure to kind of conform in order to get that shoot or get that so like someone, because I could come to you and say, Krystal, tomorrow I want you to come and do I don't know whatever type of shoot for me, but that's
cut video.
But that's not who you are or the content you like to put out. What's your stance?
I'll tell them no.
Really? I like that, you know, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'll just tell people like, okay, that sounds cool, but that's not my vibe. Yeah, because I've had conversations like that before. I said, okay, like I always have a consultation meeting, and I say, okay, what do you want from me? And they'll say, I want X, Y, Z, and I'll be like, okay, I can provide X, but the Y, Z part I can't do, so maybe get someone else. So like for example, again, the band that I did the music video for, they had another music video that they wanted me to shoot, but they showed me the mood board and like some references. I said, yo, that is out of my skill set, I'm not gonna lie. So I'd say, so what we've now agreed upon is I'm gonna direct and they're gonna get another videographer to actually shoot it. So it's like I'm still there because I know I can direct and I have a good relationship with them, but I'm not shooting because that would just be peak.
That goes to show that you're not chasing money, you're doing it because you love what you do. Do you get me? It's not a money thing.
Money is like, money's fun, money's good. But I've never been money hungry because, again, I've seen what people are like who are money chasers, and they're not necessarily the nicest people, if I'm being completely real, because then in my eyes, money chasers will always leave you for a check. No matter what. If you're just chasing a bag, you're going to be chasing a bag to your grave.
You know?
Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was an event that, you know, a special moment that I wanted you to come to, and then you had like a job or something, they will go for that job. Even if it's just like a little job. Like, I have to get the bag. Man's got to make my money. There's more to life than money, respectfully. Like money, like even just the concept of money is just, bro, it's just a figment of our imagination if you really look about it. Like
money is just something that we as humans have decided to give value to. Real life money and monopoly money has no difference. It's just that you give more value to the real money and not monopoly money.
We put the value on money. Money has no intrinsic value.
Exactly. It's not like it's gold or anything like that. It's just paper from the trace or plastic in England. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like if you just know you can have good vibes and you're not crying about money, because like I'll give you this one example, right? I had this one job that someone called me up for, and I said, okay, this is my price. They said, okay, we're running on a budget right now, I can't give you this, but I can give you that. And I was like, okay, I can either say no because I'm sticking to what my thing is, or I could say yes because the shoot seemed interesting to me and it was what I like to do. Went to that shoot. From there, met a whole bunch of people, and then that's how I ended up shooting with Ray at her concert.
See what I mean?
That's a big client. Do you see what I'm saying? If I'd said no, then I would never had met that person who then introduced me to that big client. Do you understand?
Short term versus long term. Short term person will think about the money. Long term person's thinking about what can this opportunity bring for me. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And even on a deep one as well. Yeah, like again, I like to have this quote, and it's like eyesight versus mindsight. So eyesight in your situation there was like, what's in front of me right now is a low paying potential client or whatever, yeah, which is like, oh, it's not really what I really want to do right at the table because it's low value here. But then you're thinking mindset, what could I gain from going to this? Do you know what I mean? You thought in the mindset perspective where you're like, cool, I'll take this because I know that I can get 5 networks who can get me that 5 times what this guy's paying me here, because I'm not really money's not my sole. I don't know if I'm making sense, but money's not my sole obstacle.
Yeah, it's not my sole focus in life, and it's just like the people that like I meet on shoots are like some really amazing people who then I see at other events, and it's like, oh hey girl, like what's up? And because it's the thing is like I always tell myself like I'm gonna be rich when I'm older. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like you know, I believe that 100%. So I'm like, why am I worrying about my money situation like right now? Because money comes and goes. There was times when I had 73p in my bank account, man. When one job when I used to work for the football stadium, and I'd be getting paid like 170 to survive for a whole month. Do you see what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to be poor. Been there, done that. So now that I actually have money, I know how to use it properly, and I'm not fussed about it, because it's like, yeah, like there will be opportunities where I'm like, okay, I know in the future where I'm going, I'm going to be getting paid racks. So then why am I just trying to like just par things off?
Extra couple hundred.
Yeah, like it's honestly, unless you have like big bills to pay and like you need that money, like I understand that. This is me saying it from a point where I live at home like rent free, so to speak. So I have a lot more freedom in that sense. So don't get twisted. I'm not ignorant. I know what it's like out there, guys.
So how do you feel like, obviously because as a freelancer, like you have no set budget, so I'm guessing you have to negotiate on a day-to-day basis, yeah? So how do you find that, negotiating with people? Because let's say I come to you and I say I want you to record a video for me, yeah, and you say your budget's £500, my budget's £500, sorry, but your charge is £700. How do you negotiate that? Do you get what I mean?
You have a set price list basically.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying like, how do you negotiate? Like, let's say I'm not willing to pay what you want me to pay. How do you go about that? Is it a thing where you just leave it, or is it a thing where you go back and forth and say, all right, cool?
It literally just depends on the project.
Okay.
Because if it's a project where I can do it easily, like for example, like my photography stuff, where I can quickly like take the pictures and then like edit them and send them back to you, like I'll be like, okay, I might be a bit more lenient on that. But if it's like a full-on thing, it's a bit more techie, because I'm like, that's now going to consume a lot of my time, whereas I need that for my like higher paying clients, you know what I mean?
It's just all about investment and return on investment.
Yeah, and your priorities as well. Because then if you're just piling and it's not actually worth that, then it gets a bit,
Because you can spend this time on this client when you can spend less time with a client that's going to pay more type of thing.
Yeah. And I like my free time, man. I like just chilling and being able to go out and not being like, oh my God, I got this to edit. Just running around.
How do you prioritize your clients?
I prioritize depending on what each client, oh God, how do I say it? So I have a scheduling system for all my clients, right? And they put stuff in there. So if there's like a big event for one client, or like a big like release or something, then I'll prioritize doing the social media around that, versus if it's just like, oh, you just need to put up a post to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of do it. Like what needs my immediate attention and what is like the biggest campaign to oh God, I feel like I'm just
No, I know what you mean.
My head's hurting. Like
I know what you mean. So like, you have a schedule, you have a routine basically, and then you give yourself like a certain allocated time for each day for each client, and then they can come to you and fill in that time, for example. Yeah,
pretty much. And I'm like, and I always tell people like, okay, when do you need it by? Because I can take one day to make something, I can take a week to make something. So you tell me when you need it, and I'll do my best like to deliver it by that date. But I always, again, it's a communications thing. I'll be like, okay, I have to do this right now, but I'll get to you like ASAP, and I'll keep you updated on the process. Always have communication with your clients.
Yeah, because I've worked with a lot of photographers. I've got like a team of photographers now, and they're good. But it's like the communication thing. Like they won't let you know I'm busy this day. So let's say I want my pictures on the 20th. They may have something that happens on the 17th, but they don't tell me. They just send the pictures on the 25th. Do you get me? So
I don't like that, man.
I hate that stuff.
Communication, everything, and it goes a long way. Like right now, I'm getting back into my web design, so I've got a couple clients who I'm doing maintenance for at the moment, and like they'll say to me, "Hey Ty, I've got this. They'll send me a PDF document. These are all the updates that I need done." Cool, and I say to them, you know my schedule. I work full time, just letting you know. So I'm not going to be able to start until this date. And that means that you let me know. If you set me 4 sets of updates, you let me know which is the top priority, and I'll work from that one first. And I'll be like to them, cool, I've done the first one, that will be done by Wednesday, but the second 3 I'm not going to be able to start until Saturday afternoon. So it's all about just keeping them in the loop, and it goes a long way because they're not stressing. They know, cool, Tyler said Saturday, and I'm a man of my word, so if I say Saturday, it'll be done on Saturday. Do you get it?
Yeah.
And it goes a long way, literally.
I think it is always that, like, I always try and just I have a lot of my clients on text messages or like emails and things, and I'll just be like, okay, by the way, like today I'm working on this, or like I'm doing research on this, so that's why I'm not posting right now, because I'm just analysing everything. So don't worry about it. Like, I'm not young.
It goes a long way, trust me.
So they're like, okay, she is doing work.
Yeah,
that shows that you care as well.
Yeah, it does, because the thing is, it's like you gotta, like, the scary thing about freelancing is that because you are not contracted, there are different rules. So if you do mess up, you can just be taken off, essentially. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no HR.
If you don't pull your weight.
Yeah, if you don't pull your weight.
Like one month
notice and
notice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just there and then. You know what? You're rubbish, so you're done.
Yeah, it is literally like a thing of that. So that's what I think pushes me to get my content out, because I'm like, this is my check. If I, like, when me and you was having a conversation about this, me and Tyler had a big conversation about discipline, because I need to discipline myself a lot more. Like, I get my stuff done, but I could be doing a lot more. Because it's like, I have to work for my money. If I do not work, I'm not get paid.
I'm not getting the money.
I'm not get the money. I'm gonna be broke. And then I can't buy all the clothes I want, go party, you know, plan my trips or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
Get paid.
Yeah, that's how it should be, man. I got another question.
Go for it.
So, what tips would you? Let's say you've been in this freelancing game for however long you've been in it, but you kind of set up your experience since like 5 years ago, like you said, when you first started getting into like video editing and stuff. Yeah. What tips would you give to upcoming freelancers now?
Network.
Oof. I like
that is literally it. I promise you, building skills and then networking those skills is the key. As they say, network is your net worth, because it's true. Yeah, because I know people way more talented than me. That's a fact. I'm not going to sit here and lie, be like, I'm the best. I'm not. But I'm good at what I do, and I have good vibes and can form good relationships with people. That's why people like to work with me. You need to understand that you are also a product. If you're an asshole, then people are not going to work with you. This industry is small. Word travels. So it's like, you do not want to be known as that guy who just thinks he knows everything, because then they'll be like, no, let's not work with him. Like, if you get blacklisted, long day for you. That's why a lot of people keep quiet about certain things in the industry. So I would say, definitely find out what you're good at, work on that skill, and then just start creating and network yourself, and stop being afraid to go to places by yourself as well. I've told so many of my friends,
that's strong,
stop following the crowd. Last year I had a lot of issues with friends and families and things, to the point where I was doing a lot of stuff by myself. I was going to parties, networking events by myself, but in doing that, it forced me to kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like, I'm not a shy person, but still, it's like, when you go places by yourself, you're like, I don't know. Like,
I've got a couple questions on that as well. So, like, how is that? Talk to me, because I'll be so honest, all the way, just keeping it 100. I have not really went out. I'm trying to think. No, I haven't. Maybe once or twice max in my whole life I've ever went somewhere on my own.
You're luck.
Yeah.
No, like, what type of thing though?
No. Yeah, let's clarify. So, like, say for example, a networking event. Actually, no, that's a lie. Networking event, I've been on my own. I went to a property event last year. One of my friends meant to come, but he didn't go. So I was really going to go with someone. Yeah, but other than that, I'll be like to Tay, for example, bro, let's go to this networking event rather than me just going on my own. Or like, I'll be like, let's go to this party rather than me going on my own.
Deep in it, that's like me as well.
Yeah, just being honest, innit?
Like me as well.
No, but like, in the sense where, like, because I always, when I have things come up, like, I'll always ask people, but people have their own lives. And so if no one can come, I'm not then gonna not go because, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so from me going to parties by myself, like, I've made so many more friends from that, because you're not then tied to someone, if that makes sense.
That's true.
So when you say parties, do you mean like going to the party to work, or going to the party to
party? Like, the party to party. I've been to plenty of parties by myself.
Okay.
Like the one, oh my god. So there was a gnocchi party, right? So it's a brand called Gnocchi. He had a party in, I think, like West London. I don't think my friends got on the guest list or something like that, because it was like they were being long. And so I went by myself. Probably the best party I've ever been to, and met so many people who I'm still friends with today, so that when I go to these parties next time, I'm like, oh my god, hey, and like we all have each other on Instagram now. But say for example, if I had gone with my friend, I wouldn't have necessarily like spoken to them,
because you already got your people.
I would have just had my people there. And so it's like branch out, because even after this I'm going to a place by myself, and I don't know who I'm going to meet there. And I feel like that's what's exciting, because what you need to understand as well, when you're alone, number one, you are just responsible for your own self and your own time. So it's like, if you want to have a good time, you'll learn to have fun by yourself. Secondly, you're more approachable by people, because if you're in a big group of girls or guys, it's like people might not want to necessarily come chat to you because it's a bit intimidating. Whereas if you're by yourself, you're like, oh hi, like hi, how you doing? Like, are you okay? Like and then you just start talking that way. And then I feel like you can just dot around different circles and just network yourself.
I might need to try that, you know.
No, honestly,
try it.
I will take that in.
I go cinema by myself. I take myself out on dates.
I was about to say that cinema by yourself is a bit mad though.
No, it's not. It's great.
It's not.
It's therapeutic. I love it. There's a cinema right down the street from me in Croydon. Like, I go there all the time by myself. No shame. No shame.
I've never even thought.
I gotta take a leaf out of your book, man. That's definitely one thing.
Listen,
What's the worst that can happen?
If you see someone you know, they'll be like, oh, you're by yourself. Okay, I'm what? Yeah, I am.
And what?
Yeah, talking
shit, man. Man.
We're still watching the same movie. So what now? Did you experience the movie any better than me because your friend was there?
No.
Well then, so shush.
Nah, that's real, man. And let me ask this now. No, but it's true, man. I do respect it highly. What type of like skills, like interpersonal skills, would you say you've learned since specifically going out to do things on your own? So like I'm guessing that it's had a direct effect on your confidence, for example, and your social skills. Those are two things that you can say you're probably most likely improved by you going out there on your own.
Like it just reassures myself that like it's all me doing this stuff. And it says like,
you don't need anyone else.
I don't need anyone. Like I can actually have fun by myself. Like my talent is from me, not from my entourage, not from my friends necessarily. Like the vibes you get is just my pure vibes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like because I've seen some people, they act a bit different when they're in their friendship group versus to when they're by themselves. But it's like, nah, with or without friends, this is who I am. This is what I bring. If you like it, you like it. If you don't really give a heck, really. And it's just like, when people see you vibe by yourself, I feel like it's a different level of respect, because then you're just like, rah, like you can just go out by yourself like that. And you're like, yeah. Like one of my homies that I met, Pablo, who's like one of my really good friends now, like he was at Box Park by himself in Croydon, and he was just sitting there. And then I went and I was sitting there like with my family, and I just started speaking to him. Now we're friends. He's introduced me to a whole other band of people. Yeah. And we've gone out by ourselves. And so it's just like,
that's sick, man.
You know?
Yeah.
You meet cool people. Anytime you see people by themselves, like a lot of the time they're cool people, because in this industry as well, you have to do a lot of stuff by yourself, like you're saying with your clothing brand. So why not expand that to the open world, you know? Go museum by yourself. Go date by yourself. Go eat dinner. Go just go anywhere. If you want to go. Stop being scared.
Nah,
Stop being scared. What are you scared for? What are you actually scared for?
Nah, you got a good point, man. I can't lie. You do have a very good point.
Do it.
And even in terms of like how that can affect your networking as well. Like obviously you're networking at a higher rate is what I'm trying to say, because literally one person a day practically that you're going out to this event. Every time you go out to an event, you're average likely to meet one new person. So in a week you're meeting 7 new people.
If you're by yourself, like you're kind of forced to network with people, innit? Because
100%.
you can't just be there by yourself. You're gonna have
quiet,
to
just there walking.
You get me? So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, the industry is tiny. You will see those same people at the next parties that you go to. So why not chat to them? And then you make your friends there. So it's like where, like again, I still go to parties by myself, but because I've spoken to them at the previous one, I now have friends there.
Yeah.
So I've not come with anyone, but I know they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, Hey.
Nah, that's sick. And you know what it is as well with the networking thing, yeah? I like to believe, one, you're one conversation away from being rich, and two, one of my networks who I reached out to, like back on the top, in regards to the topic of this conversation, yeah, is that you're 7 people away from meeting anyone in the world.
Yep.
So what I mean by that is like, you know, Pablo, for example, that because you know Pablo now, that means if Pablo knows someone famous, yeah, I'm only 2 people away from knowing that famous person, which is Krystal, Pablo, and then I'm there. Do you know what I mean? So it's less than 7 in that case, but you're really just 7 networks away from meeting anybody. So talking to everybody can only really help you. Do you know what I mean? There's no setbacks to it.
Yeah. Everyone though, you have to speak to everyone, even like a person that you see on the road and they may not seem like your type of person. Speak to them. Do you get me?
Nah, I do. I try to talk to. Sorry to interrupt, bro. I like to talk. I try to talk to one new person every day. That's my goal. One new person every day, especially when I'm like commuting to work. I work in central London. Like there's all these people who
On
probably
the
got
train.
big jobs on the train, ready to tear. I like just talk. Oh, you got, like you said as well, like I picked this up from you, bro. Like when we was in Northampton last week and we was coming down the elevator and Tay goes to someone, oh bro, I like your jacket. Just like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the conversation's
That's
flowing from
it,
there,
you get me?
literally.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
That's why I think, like, side note, I think dress code is a big, like, I have a big thing with, like, dressing nicely and presenting yourself in a good way because, like, again, not to be vain, but, like, I've had a lot of conversations I've had with people sometimes, it's them just coming up to me, be like, oh my God, your hair's so nice.
So I'm saying,
Or your outfit's so nice. It's just little, you don't have to be like, hi, my name is Tyler, I do this. Like, nah, bro, what is this? Like, that's some American ass-ish, no, bro. Like,
You're right.
just finding something in common, just trying to find that
Finding
common,
the common ground.
common ground, common denominator can then spark off into other conversations and just being like, oh yeah, so what like do you actually do? Like, you know, who do you know here?
Yeah.
Like, how did you get invited to this? And then you'll be like, oh, you know this person. Oh my God, I know that person. Like, right.
Just never force it, just
Think about
organic
it.
conversations.
Yeah, don't. You know there's.
I hate when man do that, you know, they want to come and network with you and it's just, you can tell that it's forced. You can see that they come up to you just to network, not to have a conversation.
Yeah, like allow it. Again, it's that whole thing of relationships. If you have an authentic relationship with someone, then you're much more likely to be able to like work with that person rather than just be like, yo bro, I need a video shot, can you shoot it? I need clothes, make me clothes. All right, why just using me? Like, hello, you do not employ me. You're not my boss. Get out of here.
Nah, proper man.
So something I want to ask quickly, just going back on the freelancing thing.
Yes.
What do you reckon, like, the benefits? You told me, like, career versus freelancing. Like, where do you stand on that?
But freelancing is my career.
Okay, sorry. I mean, like a job. Sorry.
Like 9 to 5.
A 9 to 5 job. So freelancing versus 9 to 5. Like, what do you reckon? Like, where do you?
For my personality type anyways, freelancing works way more for me because I've got a busy head and I just like to do this and this. Whereas I know some people who need a structure. Doesn't mean they're any less value as me, but they like knowing like once 5 o'clock ends, their work is done type of vibe. Whereas like I don't have that 9 to 5 job. Like, I can work. I will stay up very, very late into the early mornings working. Do you know what I'm saying? And I wake up late, but I'm trying not to because I've been waking up early.
I was looking at you like, listen, we had this talk.
Me and Tyler spoke, and as of February 1st, I started waking up early, so I'm switching it around.
Some hours back in the day.
Getting the hours back in the day. But freelancing, it's in the name. You have way more freedom, right? You can go on holiday when you want to. Yeah, you ain't got someone breathing down your neck in the office, like watching you. Because what I realized is that sometimes, like, anyone who's worked in the office knows, sometimes you'll complete things quickly, but you got 5 hours left. Now you have to look busy, and I feel like that's more stress than actually doing your work because you're there like, okay, let me just type on the spreadsheet. I'm typing absolute nonsense, but it's just looking like I'm doing something. Whereas when I'm done at home, if I've done my 3 TikToks, bro, I can't.
Do your thing.
If I want to go take a nap, I can take a nap. You can't tell me nothing. When I want to eat, I can go eat. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you have that time in the day, and like sometimes on a weekday there are like exhibitions I want to go to. There are places or theatre plays that I want to go see at a certain timing. I can go do that because then I know like, okay, if I could go to this between this hour and this hour, I can come home and still get my work done. Do you know what I mean? So that is like amazing, and I just laugh because when I go to parties especially, and like the party finishing at 3 a.m. and I'm rocking home at like 4 or 5, it's like I ain't gotta get up and get a train in the morning. Like, it's alright. I always laugh at my friend. I'm like, oh, you gotta go work in the morning. Sucks for you, innit? Like, it's funny, but I think if you love your 9-to-5 job, then sure, why not? There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5 at all. I feel like people need to get over this thing where it's like, if you're working a 9-to-5, you're just like an idiot. Like, no. Some people like their jobs and you can have a good 9-to-5 job. Where I disagree with a 9-to-5 job is if you're doing it purely to get you money to sustain yourself, because then you're just living paycheck to paycheck. You have no benefit. You have no passion. There's no aggression.
You're just there for the check.
You're just there, because I said to my mum like a couple months ago, before I got all like my clients for the social media thing, and I was just like just doing little freelance jobs here and there, so I wasn't like working. She was like, you need to get a job, Krystal, because you're gonna be poor. And I was like, no, listen, I know it's coming, I'm just waiting on it. I said, let me just chill out. Let me just chill out. I said, I'm only gonna get a 9-to-5 job if I love the job. Not doing it for any other reason, because long day. Because your mental health is worth way more than that. Like, come on, like rate yourself even. What do you want to do? Go and do it. Stop living like I'm so sick and tired of being in the office, and just hearing people moan. You chose to be here. Like, you actually,
no one's forcing you.
Do you know what I'm saying?
True,
like, you actually chose to be here. You signed that contract. So shut up. But
then people may feel like, all right, cool, I'm here because I need the money though. Do you get what I mean?
But then you're there for the wrong reasons, isn't it?
No, but people have bills to pay. That's what I'm saying. That's what someone could say back to your point.
Why can't you get a 9-to-5 job that you like that pays you money?
I hear you still.
Like, there are actually plenty of jobs out here.
I hear you.
So why am I hearing? Go and do it. People don't. That's the difference between people who actually make it in this life and people who don't. If you're just chatting, complaining, and not taking the action to change your life, because you are control of your life.
You're being willfully ignorant.
You're being willfully ignorant.
The same thing yesterday on the live.
No, let me not even touching it again. But the universe is crazy, bro. Like,
That's why we're friends, because we get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the 9-to-5 job I had, I loved it. I did, but it was not fulfilling me like I thought it was fulfilling me. And I think even my employers knew that, like, Krystal, we can see that this isn't necessarily like for you, and like we know you're capable of a lot more. So it's like we left, when I left, it was very on like good terms and things. Like, it wasn't no animosity, like no red-tear thing. So it's all right. And now I'm like so much happier doing what I'm doing. I wake up with a smile on my face. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what can I do today? Like, I have sometimes 3 days. I'm like, oh, where can I go? I'll go on TikTok and find something to do. Or like, I'll hit on my friend, be like, yo, you want to go to do this thing? And they'll be like, yeah. Because like, a lot of my friends are freelancers too. So, because it makes me laugh, when I used to go to work. And then, because again, I worked in central London. And then when I'm outside at like maybe like a weird hour, like maybe like 2:00, or like 11, and then I'm seeing just bare people out. I'm thinking, do you not have jobs? Why is everybody outside? Should you not be in the office? But now I'm seeing, because people have different days. It's like, it must be nice to just be out and about when the sun is shining rather than cooped up in an office. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Still
strong.
So it's good.
Well, just on the way out, here at the Energizer, we like to drop a gem. So on the base of today's conversation, what's one thing that you'd like to give, like a gem, to the audience? It could be
a gem, a crystal. I would say to anyone, like, do what makes you happy. And once you start doing what makes you happy, the money will start coming. And so happiness over everything.
Strong. I'd say passion over paychecks, innit? Choose your passion over paychecks.
Amen.
Yeah, passion over
Look, I was starting strong now as well.
Yeah, 2 for 2, we need 3 for 3.
I got 2 things. The first thing is content is king. So as we've seen here, you can really just make a career by just making content. So if you like making content, don't be thinking about what the next person's going to be thinking about you because of the content you've made. Just make it and put yourself out there. And the second thing is, don't chase money, chase value. I'm gonna just leave that there.
Strong.
Boom.